let's go ahead and hit record so I can share this later. Again, thank you guys so much for jumping on. I did not prepare any slides or anything. We're going to keep this short and sweet. My whole point was just to kind of share with you a couple things that have been kind of have been going on in the background, I guess, as far as like new rollouts for 2018. And I'm going to be super nerdy for a hot second and talk a little bit about like strategy and financials and just volume and how it relates to income. So I have zero notes planned out except for some math pictures. But so I'll start with, so I'm going to be really scattered is my caveat. Sorry about that. But I'm going to start with, so we have a Body Burn leader group. And so it's diamonds that are part of Body Burn. So I don't even know if, I don't think everyone on our team is maybe even in the Body Burn group. It's Sarah Lenore's group and it's like massive. There's over 1,000 coaches. And so Sarah Lenore is my coach's coach's coach. And so great type grandma. But we have this this other collaboration group. And what we've really been realizing this year is that we've kind of all drifted apart from a whole team community aspect. And that is something that from the very, very beginning, I've really admired about our team is just like how we do groups together, how we do, we are like this fit fam, right? That we call it super cliche, but it's really something that I think all of us feel drawn to that part of this, just coaching in general. I know that that's a huge thing for me. It's a huge thing for Jen. It's a huge thing for Amy. Like from the very beginning, that's just been really cool, a drawing factor. And so I think that maybe we may feel a little bit more of a community just in like our small like Team Sweat Happy team, but we have over the last year kind of lost the just bigger group community. And it's for a lot of factors that it's neither here nor there, it doesn't matter. But the whole reason I share this is that going forward, we're creating this. Hey Anna.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't know how to do this.
Yes, that's awesome. So it's just kind of talking about just our community and how we love our community. But
yeah, I was on. Just my face wasn't showing. I didn't know. Okay.
Oh, okay. Good. I'm glad you're here. So I think Jen actually just created this new group that's going to be. We're calling it Sweat Society. I can't remember what sweat stands for off the top of my head. It doesn't matter, but it's an acronym of awesome words. And what we're really trying to get back to is just like this massive community aspect and support and learning from each other, teaching each other, hanging out with each other, and just like really jumping into this community. So the only groups that we're going to have, like we're going to archive Body Burn, we're going to archive Good Vibes Tribe. Team Sweat Happy, I haven't completely decided whether that either gets archived and we kind of form this, like, I know in my last video I kind of talked about maybe like a Google Hangout type thread. Like I want something that's just like us as far as like, that we can just kind of bounce ideas off of each other or, just have something collective from our small knit group. But other than that, it would be that and then this Sweat Society group, which is really cool. And it's going to be a big group, but structured in a sense that like Jen's working on the whole organization of the group, which is really cool because she's super organized. But like, photo albums for follow, like, I don't know, I'm making stuff up. She can talk about how she's organizing stuff. But like, so while it may be huge and massive, it's also going to be like more organized than like our random, stuff. So it won't feel so big. Plus we're going to have like, set team calls, set like live power hours. And so while you may not be able to jump on every week by any means, it's just that it'll be like, hey, Monday night we do this and blah, blah, blah. And so when you can, if it works with your schedule, it's something that is there for you, and it's going to be right. That's kind of sounds like overwhelming for sure, but it won't be like that because we're splitting the load among 20 some people who are like organizing it, and then like all the like it won't be. It'll be overwhelming as in the fact that there's a lot of people, but it's going to be like just more organized. So I think it'll be fine. Either way, I'm really excited because it's like community stuff. So that's kind of the kind of quick background. I'll probably start to add people. Our whole plan is to get rolling out in like 2018 at the beginning. So for new coaches, there's going to be this new coach training academy, so that coaches can kind of, you get to decide, yep, I want to be part of this group. I'm raising my hand saying I want to be part of this group by doing the coach training academy. It's like a coach basics, right? So most of you guys, I think all of the people on the live call have gone through that already. This one's going to be way better and way more organized than anything I ran for sure. But that's okay. Whatever. It doesn't matter. So of course we're all welcome. I'm going to go through it again too, because I learn a lot, just by doing and stuff. So, we're all welcome to do that, of course, too. So as I learn more details about all that, I'll certainly share that for sure. But, so that is number one, I guess the big whole like structural thing. The second thing I wanted to talk about, or any questions about that first before I move on? And anything to add, Jen? She's in the collab group as well.
Yeah, I guess I'll just add. So we've been meeting as leaders like once a week for the past month, maybe, to kind of talk through how we're going to do this, and it's been really great. Like it's a real collaboration. Like it's people giving their opinion and us talking about it, and it's a lot of us really wanting to make it better, more collaborative, but also simpler for everybody and less overwhelming. And I'm just really excited about it because it's been a long time since I've really felt this kind of excitement energy. And so I know if this is the energy that's going into rolling it out, I know that's going to like trickle down, and there's going to be like, you're going to be able to collaborate with all these new coaches that you might not even know right now. Like for groups, you're going to get to meet a bunch of people that, maybe you don't know because they're like cross-line or whatever. I don't know. I think it's going to be really exciting. And at the beginning, there's probably going to be some bumps. And we're also, one thing that we're really trying to do is, so we're all very similar in that we want it to be like perfect day one. And we know that it's probably not going to be. So we've kind of given ourselves first quarter, January, February, March, to roll out what we have. And so what we'll probably ask for is like feedback. Like if you're like, this is awesome, but this part sucks. We want you guys to tell us, because then like second quarter, we might make some tweaks. So we're all embracing that this isn't going to be perfect day one. But the community that we've, I think, been missing, like Becca said, is going to be there. So I'm very excited about it. And I love that there's just going to be less groups. Makes me happy.
Yeah. Less groups and more, more teamwork, which helps everything. It's going to be awesome. So super excited about that. Okay, cool. All right. The second topic I wanted to talk about is this PV model type thing and Tribe of Emeralds. And so this is certainly a topic that I want to do like a formal training on, especially like for new coaches. For this, I just kind of wanted to roll out the concept to you guys because I've done a really piss poor job of teaching this from the beginning. And there are a ton of areas where I need to improve on. I want to improve on as a leader and as a team member, for sure, and this being one of them, because I think I've really done a disservice as far as there are like simple strategies that if you just have in the back of your mind could certainly increase bank account. Which one thing, and I said this in my post and I'll reiterate again, one thing that our team, again, another thing I'm so proud of, and this is a quote that I think I want to make the cover photo of whatever our Team Sweat Heavy group turns into, but it's from Tracy Morrow that says, "If you lead with your heart, no one can ever take you negatively." And I think that is a phrase, a quote that we embody wholeheartedly, and like, you know, service hearts, and like wanting to help people, which obviously I love. But my downfall with that is I have not taught you or me, like I have not spent the time myself trying to learn how to maximize the compensation plan that comes from Beachbody, right? So it's we love that we are helping other women, men, people, which we want to continue to do, but I also need to teach you how to do that and also maximize your income from the compensation plan from Beachbody. So I apologize for not ever focusing on this before. I want to change that going forward so that we're helping people and kicking ass in the financials as well. So that's kind of where this model comes from. And it is, if you've watched the YouTube video, now I can't even remember her name. Marin, what's her name?
Sorry, Milan.
Milan, thank you.
Milan.
Milan. If you YouTube, yeah. So she's the why this has gotten so much like buzz is that at the New Leader Conference back in October-ish,
Mm-hmm.
she gave a presentation about this, and from then everyone's like, holy crap, like how did we not know this? And it's because the compensation plan is so just like, okay, we have like some engineers on this team who like actually like math, but most people don't like math, and so they don't, you know, that's not something that we focus on. Which, what the heck, Becca? You love math. Like, why have you not like, right? Yeah. Anyway, I'm mad at myself because I literally just did math for like 30 seconds. I'm like, oh, this is so cool. So anyway, I'll get to that. Anyway, so if you Google her, she is the first coach in the network, the first coach that started like 11 years ago. She told Carl Deichler no 7 times. Nope. She was in like the network marketing world, like as a corporate job, which I don't know what that means. I don't know what she actually did. But so when he was launching the Team Beachbody Network, like he called on like her and her husband to like help start. And she was like, nah, whatever. And then it's really cool. I won't go into the whole story, but like he said something about like, you know, doing something that you're passionate about and also like helping with your own health. Like, and she kind of took that. She's like, yeah, why wouldn't I do that? Which is so cool, right? Like, why wouldn't we do something that maximizes income and is also super healthy and like what a positive outlet. So I thought that was really cool because again, that's kind of what we wholeheartedly believe in. So anyway, this is like her, you know, so she's been doing this for a million years and I'm sure has definitely maxed out the compensation plan. And and she's teaching other people this, which duh. Okay. It's all based on a 500 PV coach model. And what that means is another, and again, I'm just going to do like high level stuff and I will share like kind of the math behind it. But if it gets too overwhelming, like stop and be like, hey, slow down or ask questions and stuff like that. But this whole concept is based on the 500 PV model, which means that we as a coach, we as coaches, we are focused on helping our customers consistently so that every month we have a 500 PV bank. Okay. And so it's not, so in my mind, and I'm guilty of this, that I'm at SC4, I just need SC1. Ooh, my internet is unstable. Is that, am I still?
You're good. You froze for a second, but you're good.
Okay. Thank you. It's more focusing on the long game, which is what we should be doing from the very beginning. It's helping people for the long run because we know that it's not you can't just do this for 21 days and reach your goals and then go back to shit, right? And you're going to just go back, right? This is the long game. Helping people with health is a lifestyle, not a short thing. And so it's taking that approach and really focusing on, you want to help your customers maximize their life, not a quick sale and then move on to the next person. So it's more focusing on just like, you know, those a couple people each month, helping them, but helping them for the long run, long-term customers, you know, loving products type thing. So 500 PV, so that's stands for personal volume. So you earn PV from any of your personal orders or your customer orders. Okay. And so it's thinking about, so if you're thinking, how would I put this into actual practice, like real life thing? That's every Shakeology order is 90 PV. So that's like 5 to 6 customers on that continuously order Shakeology every single month, right? So it could be, you could find those 5 customers in month 1, and if they continuously order, you're going to have your 500 PV every month, not getting any new customers, right? So it's more like just focusing on that long run. Okay. So that's the basis. That's the model is focusing on 500 PV. And so when you see now in groups like volume strong or weak leg volume, blah, 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 it's all around, Someone who has like a lot of volume every month means that they have a lot of customers and a lot of customer retention, right? So that's like where we want, right? We want to help customers for the long run. So that's kind of why we're focusing, or why you're seeing more of like those type of graphics.
Hey, Becca, though, quick question.
Yeah.
You have to be in Emerald status, though, right, for it to really matter, or no?
Okay, so you have to be Emerald status to earn TV, which is team volume. Okay. No, you can earn team volume. You just can't, you don't start earning team cycle bonus until you're Emerald. And so, that's perfect segue. So that brings us into this building a tribe of Emeralds. So the way Milan, what she really focuses on is when you, as a coach, your goal is to become an Emerald and teach your team how to build Emeralds, be Emerald. And so why that's important is, you know, when you're Emerald, that's when you start to capitalize on when Beachbody starts to pay you that team cycle bonus. And so it's like, get to Emerald and build Emeralds and build at least 4 generations of Emeralds. So help my personally sponsored coaches build Emerald and teach their personally sponsored coaches to build to Emerald, to teach their personally sponsored coaches to teach Emerald. And when you've done that, you have, if you just draw it out, right? So this is me, build to Emerald. So 1 coach on each leg. I help those coaches build to Emerald to then teach their coaches to build to Emerald. Okay, so you see that little tree? So what this creates is a tribe of 15 coaches. And so it's just this little tribe. And so if that's what you're focusing on, that like what you build these like this mini tribe. And if you build one of these, then you start to earn, you know, okay, I haven't finished all the math, but that's like, let me get there. Hold on. Let me go back to this. Okay. But something that was hard for me to grasp is, okay, each of these coaches teaching also the 500 PV model. So the goal is you become Emerald and you help your coaches get to Emerald while also teaching that, hey, 500 PV is the, is a goal, I guess, the 500 PV type thought process. And so for me, I'm like, well, PV is not TV. But if you search our Google, or if you Google our Beachbody product list, every program has a price tag, a PV assigned to it, and a TV, team volume. And team volume is what accumulates for team cycle bonus. So when you go in your back office and it says like LV, RV, left volume, right volume, that's team volume. It's not personal volume, it's team volume. and this is where I'm going to start losing people because now it gets all weird. But for most products, PV equals TV. So Shakeology is 90 PV. It's also 90 TV. So if I'm a 500 PV coach and I help my coaches become 500 PV coaches, then and I build this tribe of 15 emeralds, what ends up happening is I have 3,500 PV on my left leg and 3,500 PV on my right leg. Okay? And so my tribe of 15 emeralds every month is generating 7,000 PV of volume, 35 on each leg. So now when you convert that to how many team cycle bonuses that is, that's where the dollars come in. Okay. This is super confusing. I should have definitely mapped this out, and I will. Again, this one I just wanted to like start getting that concept out there. And that is why, like, I mean, girl, how cool is it to have like this tribe? Like, we're all in this little like mini pod of like awesomeness that we're all helping each other, because it's not even just your coaches that help build your volume. It's your coaches. It's the other coaches. You know what I mean? So it's like Anna's coach could help Amy, or could help Jessica, like, but it's Anna's coach. And so it's that like just tribe mentality that we're all in this together, which I think is so cool. Yeah, I just think it's so cool. So let me run through some numbers real quick. Okay. If you're a 500 PV coach, commission alone, you're earning $163 to $195 a month in just your personal commission. So that alone, it's like, that's pretty cool. Like, I'm earning $200 for helping other people fall in love with loving themselves too. You know,
that's covering your Shakeology every month.
It's covering your and your husband's, and I mean, that's huge, right?
And I think when you're doing math, I had some other things to share while you're doing math, but whenever you're going to switch to that.
Okay, so I'm doing math, and
okay.
This is not going to be good or easy.
Okay.
But what I tried to do here is like, okay, so if I have just think concept of this mini tribe. You help your coaches get to Emerald to teach their coaches to get to Emerald, to teach their coaches to get to Emerald. So 4 generations. Anything more than this is just like, you know, even more, right? I mean, if you're a diamond coach with tribes of emeralds, you're making like, I think it was like $4,000 to $5,000 a month, which is crazy, awesome. And all you're doing is like, as a tribe, helping each other. But let's go back to like the simplest model of having a tribe of 15 coaches, 500 PV model, emeralds. Then your left volume every month is 3,500, and your right volume every month is 3,500. So this assumes that from the beginning you're doing this and you don't have a strong leg or a weak leg. But if that's all you have, then what you end up doing, and I'm going into this assuming that we know what team cycle bonus is and how you do that. There's a ton of training videos about that as well. So I'll touch on it a little bit, but if that is still Greek to anyone watching this, then this is going to be even like whatever language that doesn't exist. But if you have 3,500 on your left and 3,500 on your right, to cycle, you pull 200 points from your strong leg and 100 points from your weak leg. And then that total of 300 points counts for one cycle. And then depending on whether you're emerald, ruby, diamond, you get $14, $16, or $18 per cycle. So starting from the beginning, my first month, 3,500 PV each leg, I'm going to cycle 17 times. Okay? That's just dividing the 1 by 200, 1 by 100, 17 times. My strong leg is going to carry over, or one of my legs is going to carry over 1,800 points. One of my legs is going to only carry over 100 points. I've maxed out that leg. Okay, so that first month of 17 cycles, a minimum of $245. So you add that to your $200 commission, you're up to $445 for that month, right? And which I mean, I don't know about you, but an extra $445 month one sounds really freaking awesome. Month one of like implementing this concept. Goes up from there because now you're starting to bank some of that volume, and so your cycles increase the next month. And so the next month, what was your weak leg before becomes your strong leg, and what was your strong leg before becomes your weak leg because of that 2-to-1 ratio. So again, for me, I have to draw this out. I'll draw this out and like share it so you can like visually go through it. But like month 2, you cycle 26 times. And so that's $364 minimum. Added to your $200 from commission, that's $560. And then it goes from there. The next month would be 22 cycles. The next month would be 24 cycles. So you're kind of hovering around that 20 to 20 some, depending on volume. This is assuming you're not growing at all. You just have that base, and your team has that 500 PV base, which is not accurate, right? Like it would continue to grow.
Yeah. And that's assuming you're still an emerald rank, right?
Yep.
Like
yeah, that's minimum. So then you multiply that by 18 once you're diamond. And when you're diamond, right, you're emerald, but you have more coaches and more, right? So this is like minimum, which is pretty cool because it just duplicates so fast as as like, I think it was if you had 12 tribes? Or was it 12?
I think it was
12 tribes was like $5,000 a month.
I can't remember. It was something like that.
Something like that. Again, when I actually put this formally together, I'll have more graphics. But the concept is really like, let's start to focus on like retention and just making sure that we're helping customers for the long run. I'm even like wanting to revise like all my messages to be like, I'll help you return things. Like, I don't want to help you return things. If you don't freaking love something, I'm going to find you something else that you do love, right? Because there's something out here that you're going to love that's going to help you. And I'm in this with you for the long game. I want to help this person for the long game. I hate seeing, people yo-yo type thing, because I used to do that. I don't want to do that anymore, and I don't want to see other people do that. So it's kind of just that shift of mindset, which I think is really awesome. And also, again, this community, this tribe, this helping each other, this like my coaches helping Anna's coaches, helping Amy's coaches, helping Jen's coaches, like we're all in this together, I think is really cool. So that was really all I had. Jen, you want to add some stuff? And then people with questions, I know that was a lot of information thrown. My next steps again are to map this out visually for you. I just wanted to start sharing the concept to better serve you guys. So
yeah. So I think for me that the shift is subtle because you watch this and you're like, well, duh, obviously, like, doesn't everybody do this, right? The point is to grow volume, but I think a lot of us have been taught that basically, in my mind, to make those kind of dollar figures, it equals a very large rank, or I need to be like star diamond, and so that kind of puts your focus of, oh, I need to have enough coaches and maybe get lucky to have a couple that are emerald, so then I can get to this rank and then I'll start earning those dollars. And if you approach it that way, I think you end up with, if you watch Milan's video, did we share it, Becca? Did we share it in the group?
I think so, but
okay. So if you watch her presentation at Leadership, number one, it's like 25 minutes, so it's nice and short, but she does have a couple slides. And she does a comparison of this emerald tribe that Becca's talking about to what I would call the standard diamond, which is what I am, which is me. And then I have, anywhere between 8 and 12 coaches, personal coaches, but almost all of them are just getting Shakeology every month. So instead of the 500, and there's nothing wrong with that at all, but instead of the 500, I'm getting, where Becca wrote in 500s, I'm getting 90, 90, 90, 90. And you can see how maybe where there's this emerald that, like Becca is saying, cycles, what was it, 17 times?
17
Like,
times month one, 26
yeah,
times month
like
two.
the most I personally have ever cycled in 1 week is like, I think one time I did it 5 times and I was like super pumped. And that's probably because I went to Summit and bought a bunch of shit under Tyler's business account that bumped up my volume, you know, like, so that, and that's why for me, I hit diamond rank and then I bounce between diamond and emerald all the time. And that's why I'm not bringing in the income that some emerald might be, that's really drilling down and focusing on, I'm not worried about the rank. I'm not worried about the recognition that comes with that. It's great and I love it, but I'm more focused on teaching this whole concept. And so it does require you to have more working coaches, which sometimes is a hard thing to find, but that is the subtle shift for me, is like, okay, it's not about, obviously I want to be, all sorts of rank someday, but for now it's about, let me find 2 people that really, really want to run this and teach them how to help their people and then move on from there. And like, that sounds way simpler than like, oh, I got to be like a 5-star diamond, right?
Yep.
So that was like the big shift for me. It's subtle, but I really liked it. And I think when you guys see, if you're visual, when you see the pictures, after hearing this, it'll really kind of sink in.
Yeah.
And you'll be like, okay, because I watched it and I'm like, I can do that. Like, I can do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what's huge about it. We all can do that. We all can do this. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so huge, right? It's putting like that milestone being emerald, right? Which is like, because naturally, naturally, if you're continuing that, then that diamond will come. But like some of I don't even know what rank Milan is, and I know that she mentioned like some people on her coach are over 6-figure earners and they're star diamond. Like that's it. But all they're focusing on is, helping my mini pods, you know what I mean? And like, that is, like Jen said, so much more attainable than, holy smokes, 15-star diamond. And you know what I mean? Like, yeah. And it's like, I love the long game and thinking about the long game. And Summer Tucker is another person who like wholeheartedly is into this. And her whole thing was like, if I can make, I think her thing was Janelle Summers. Like, if I can make 10% of what Janelle Summers in 6 years, then, that's huge. Right. And so having that mindset that it's not an overnight thing, because to have that really strong foundation base and like helping those customers like sustain, that's a long game. But I think that's what we're here for anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So any questions about that? I know it's super confusing. I will make sure that I posted that video, because the other thing, that classic diamond that Jen was talking about, that person makes $54 a month versus this Emerald Tribe makes $500 a month. And she's an Emerald, you know what I mean? So it's really putting rank, like whatever, except for Emerald, so that you can start getting those team cycle bonuses. But beyond that, it's like, it's just really focusing on that and depth and helping the team and like being a team.
Yeah. And I think one thing I guess I would add is, Jess, I think it kind of goes to your question. Like, at some point you need to just get to Emerald so you can start accumulating this. And so for most of us, I still think getting Emerald, however you can, when you're ready to like work through those steps, and it probably is going to be 2 discount coaches to start with. Like, I think that's what a lot of people do. But I think it's important to at least get that under your belt so you can start building. And then from there, especially, you'll be in this longer, you'll have more experience, you'll be able to share with more people. And then you can start to find the people that want to, do it with you. And then it's easier to share. But I think that beginning of trying to finding 2 people where the discount is really going to benefit them and getting them signed up so you can start to accumulate, I think that's still important. no matter who they are. And then it really becomes a focus on what is, not that discount coaching it's normally good for everybody involved, but then really focusing on what's best for people. And then another thing, so Jess and I had a call last night too. So there's some things that we talked about. But, she was talking about like, oh, I need to I want to study more about our products. That is a really actionable way to start getting to this, because I don't know, Energize, I think is 40 volume. I mean, a refresh is something like 60 maybe, even if someone needs a weighted medicine ball, we have those and you can get volume.
Yep.
So just really starting to be like, oh my gosh, what's in my toolkit? And if somebody is I can't afford this, but I would really love to do this one thing. You're like, okay, great. Here's what it is. And you're still going to get a volume piece. I think I'm rambling now, but those were my two big things. Yeah.
No, yeah, that's absolutely huge, right? It puts more, we're not focused. I mean, let's just face it, right? Challenge packs are the absolute best deal for a person because you get the fitness and the nutrition piece. That's not going away. It for sure is. But it also instead of, having this person doesn't want a challenge pack, man, I guess, maybe next month I'll follow up and maybe they'll be ready then. It's hey, I get it. Maybe now's not the right time. How's your pre-workout routine, or how's your, do you feel sore after the workouts that you're doing? It brings in this whole other arsenal of, like Jen said, stuff that's in our toolkit to help that person. Right. And really to just focus on what are their needs, that I can help with. And I mean, that's right. We're all super users of this stuff because we freaking love this stuff. And so it's just kind of, right. It's sharing, it's sharing more about that. And then, the other thing, in Milan's video, she talks about, the 500 PV coach is not afraid to ask questions. She's not afraid to say, how's your health? How is your nutrition going? And focusing on, I really want you guys to watch it if you haven't watched it already. It's called The Healthy Formula, right? Which we all know, nutrition plus support, or fitness plus nutrition plus support. So someone may be totally into CrossFit. They got their fitness down, but maybe they need help with nutrition or maybe they don't have an accountability buddy. And so it's what do we have to offer to round out that healthy formula? Because that is what's going to give someone that long-term success. It's your fitness, it's 98% your nutrition, and then, the accountability piece and all. So maybe someone's fitness and nutrition is spot on, but man, their motivation is down the tubes, and, they lack that community, or maybe they have this awful home life and they want community, that's going super negative. But the whole point being we have all of those pieces to offer, and this really focuses on, making sure that that person has access to one of those things to round that out. So it's a really good video. I'll post it I'll post this recording and then also that video so you can watch. Yeah. That was a lot. Any other questions? Amy, unmute.
No, I don't. Taylor's starting to crawl, so I'm half paying attention and watching her get up on all fours and fall forward and get up all fours and fall forward.
Is this her first crawling?
Huh?
Is this her first crawling?
Yeah, I think so.
Yay! That's exciting.
She normally just kind of gets up and then, it's for a cell phone. I don't know if that's a good thing. No, I feel like some of the stuff is things that I've kind of already been trying to do. The first thing that I did because I don't Sam, my coach, is not a working coach. So I don't, when you're talking about having a strong leg and a weak leg, I don't have a strong leg and a weak leg. Like, I have whatever I do is what I have. I think there's one girl that Sam did have signed up. So that helps a little bit. But I, like, the first thing when I got the coaches, it's all about signing them up, especially under Jake, because I know that I get everything that he gets, then I will get too. And so it's, you know, I maybe will each cycle once, but that's still 2 cycles, and, you know, but I get.
Yeah. So, I mean, so that puts, like, that's a really great position to be as far as, like, having that equal leg, so that, because that, I mean, that, in a perfect world, you would be flip-flopping back and forth from strong to weak, because that means you're really maximizing. Whereas, like, one of my legs, like, I'm never going to pull from it. So it's only, you know, you're only as good as your weak leg, right? As far as however many cycles. And so when you have no weak leg, then you're constantly going back and forth, which, while, you know, obviously I don't want anyone to not have support from their sponsor as well, you know, having that kind of fresh look at it is like, oh, this is a pretty cool spot to be, because my whole point is to build equal volume on each leg, since you get to maximize every single month. And I talk about cycles, I'm talking about this in a monthly thing, but we cycle daily. And so if you go and look at your cycles, you can, like, kind of see kind of real time how that looks, it's just kind of cool. I think there is a maximum per day, but it's like,
it's crazy.
I don't know if I'd ever hit it.
That's another thing, is that I think everyone should take the time to do the exercise to go into your back office and figure out how much PV per month you're currently doing. Because I went and did mine, and I was like, holy shit, like, you know, my number is way more than 500 a month. And so then that's, and you may find that you're super close, you know, or you're, you know, so number one, like, knowing where to find those numbers and how to, you know, figure out how much you're getting per month, I think is really important. But when you see what you're already doing, for me, I was like, oh, I'm already doing this. I just have to teach someone to do what I'm already doing. Like, that's, again, so simple. So I encourage everyone to go, so try to do it. And if you get stuck or can't find it or get lost in the new office, like, ask us. But go back there and poke around. And again, it'll be your PV, your personal volume. And there's a report you can find, and just add it up for the past month and see where you're at. You might be surprised.
Cool.
Or you might find a month where you were 500. Maybe you didn't do it this month, but maybe you're like, oh my gosh, in August I did it. Like, what did I do then? You know, and just think about, how can I teach someone else that? Because you'll be surprised, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. And I think that the Sweat Society is going to be really helpful, because we're all teaching each other too, right? So even the burden of, you know, like you don't have to like make all these training videos, you know what I mean? Because, like, we're all doing this together, and we're all, like, helping each other out. So even that is just like, that's so simple. Just, like, let's just be plugged in with each other. It's going to be really cool. Super excited.
Me too.
Cool. All right. Any other questions? Sorry, this went way later. Of course it did. It always does. Okay. All right. I'll post the recording, and I'll post that video, and then I'll have a much more put together and graphics to help teach this. But thank you guys for jumping on. It's really good to see all your faces, and looking really excited for our 2018 together.
And I just wanted to say thanks, Becca, for coming on. I just really appreciate what you and Jen always do for us, even though you think that sometimes you're lacking or whatever, but it really does help, even if it's just encouragement. I really appreciate it. And so I love all you guys, and I just hope that y'all have a good holiday.
We love you, Anna. Thank you.
Love you, Anna.
So, you're the best.
So that's all.
Thank you all. Okay.
Thanks,
Thank you
guys.
guys so much. We love you.
Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.